Hi, this is Majin. Here's some comic reviews for you. We have Alex and Ada, Superman, Batman, Uba, Marvel Knights, Spider-Man, Mighty Avengers, Earth 2, Amazing X-Men, and Cataclysm. So we got a lot to cover today. So let's start with the Independents, Alex and Ada. Now this is a story where you have this guy named Alex. He's really depressed because his girlfriend left him. And he's living in this futuristic world where they have like these, you can have this chip implanted in your head, and basically he can walk into a room and say like lights on, off, start the car, unlock, and then if you notice here he's driving, the car drives itself and he can watch TV. So there is a very futuristic type of a society, but yet not the futuristic with spaceships and stuff like that. Well, anyways, his grandmother, she's getting jiggy with an android who's very attentive to her needs, if you know what I mean. And, she's like, you should get one of these androids too. But he's like, nah, I don't care about that. And you can see his life really isn't doing very well, on a social level. He's definitely not happy. Well, as fate would have it, his grandmother decides to one day, on his birthday, send him an android for his very own. And poof, there it is. Now, my big beef, and I knew this when I bought this is a copy of a manga from Japan called Absolute Boyfriend. In Absolute Boyfriend, basically what you had was a girl. She was not having luck with love type thing. She gets wrapped up into this with a salesman who basically goes, well, you can buy this perfect android, and it'd be your boyfriend, but it costs too much money, so he said, well, we're offering a special where if you test it out, basically be a beta tester to it, then we can knock some dollars off. She agrees, and poof, there you go. Now you have an android that is your perfect boyfriend. So when I saw this, I knew exactly what this is, but I was really curious to see how closely they copied. And so I don't know if I'm going to keep getting this just to find out, but I would probably recommend just read the manga because it's probably going to be a better story. Next is Uba, number 7. Basically, this is World War II. You have the U.S. fighting Japan, and they got superpowers type thing. And I was like, oh wow, that might be kind of cool. You get some really cool violence shots. But I mean, I realize I'm jumping in the middle of the story, but this really wasn't that great to really grab me in. So I don't think I'm really going to get any more of this. The art is okay. Violence level's okay. I mean, it's gory. But I didn't think it was that great of a story. Okay. Superman, Batman. Now, this was actually interesting in that you have to read your book this way. And this is the everybody wants to kill Batman thing. So basically what's going on is you have, I think it was a Toy Master. He basically is trying to create this video game where everybody can basically link together, and they're going to try to kill Batman. And it's like a virtual fighting thing. Virtual in the sense that people can link minds together, but then they have a physical construct that's outside in the real world to fight Batman. And it was a decent read overall. I love the relationship between Batman and Superman, how they're talking, their comments to each other. That part was good. In a way, this is more of a refreshing change compared to what it was like the past couple issues with Jay Lee's art. I mean, Jay Lee's art is very surreal, and it's just nice to finally get back to a standard superhero type art style, especially with a book like this. And of course, you have the featured villain of the month appearing at the end. That's going to stir things up. So overall, this was an enjoyable read, but this is clearly just setting things up. Okay, now Earth 2. Okay, now I'm sure you've already seen the spoilers about how you have the evil Superman, and he's just kicking butt everywhere. Now, there were parts of this book that I was kind of going, this is good, This is kind of weak. The good was, in a sense, how some of the heroes were reacting to everything. You know, you can really see, like, the, oh crap, we don't know what we're going to do type, you know, dialogue that's going on. But at the same time, then they drop things like, oh, look, there's Lois Lane and Red Tornado. And I'm like, did you really have to do that? You didn't. You did not have to do that, but they did it. So they had these moments where I started to get, like, disillusioned with the book. Especially when, you know, you have that the writer change. Robinson isn't on this book any longer, and I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be bad. But at the very end, it offered a brief glimmer of hope, in that I really want to know what's going to happen. Basically, what's going on, while all this is going on, Batman is entering like an installation. He's going to the status chambers, and inside this chambers are basically all the super villains. And it looks like what he's going to try to do is release them all to fight off the evil Superman. And I am really curious to see what's going to happen with this. Of course, I want to know who's the Batman. You know, there's a lot of rumors, speculation. Is it really Bruce Wayne coming back from the grave? Is it Wildcat? You know, we'll find out later. But you know, that's clearly the Joker right there. And there's a few other characters that you can probably guess. Like, that's probably Killer Croc, maybe. But I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen if they release everybody. You know, I was really about to cancel this book, but that little glimmer of hope, that unpredictable part of the story, really is what's going to keep me at least for another issue. The art, though, was definitely solid. Okay, Marvel Knights Spider-Man number 2 of 5. Basically, this is a continuation of greatness. The art is fantastic. The story is great. I loved how basically Spider-Man's fighting on an airplane with, again, Shocker, Sandman, Hydro Man, and Mysterio. The art is just phenomenal. I love the side panels here. That of basically this part where Spider-Man's thinking, well, my spider sense helps guide my actions, and you can see his spider sense going, no, that's not a good idea, no, that's not a good idea. Then you also get another part where you have Uncle Ben teaching Peter Parker how to swim. There's a thing here about being on the beach and how somebody, that's probably, you know, Sandman busting through Peter Parker's sandcastle. Fantastic. You know, this technically should have been the book of the week, but, you know, I wanted to give Detective Comics a chance, since it would probably rarely get a book of the week mentioned. But this was phenomenal. If Matt and Marco really keep this thing up, this is definitely going to be a potential trade book. And we still really don't know what's going on in this issue, other than he's got 99 problems. But anyways, fantastic. Mighty Avengers number 3. You know, this is one of those ones, another one where I was kind of going, well, I'm getting ready to drop this thing. But the fight was great. I guess you can say this is almost another Sentry type character. And there's just something about the building of this team that makes me want to just keep getting it. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about it that makes me want to just keep getting it, especially since I hate Land's artwork. I love the ending part where Power Man is transferring all this energy into White Tiger, and you get this gigantic tiger attacking. Overall, this is definitely a much better read over compared to what the first 2 books were like. And even though this is an Infinity crossover, it really isn't that much tied into it. And I think that's why this one was a little bit stronger. It's even though it's just a continuation of the Doctor Strange and then that invasion of New York, it's just that they're able to focus on something other than just random ships flying around and, you know, random troops that they're punching. Overall, this Ewing did a really good job, I thought, overall. I'm definitely going to at least get it for another issue or 2. But I think this is going to be on a short leash for right now. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep this up, because it's the Land. There's just the way Land draws his faces and how it looks at times. Just looks like he just traces things that just drives me up the wall. But it looks like it's a little bit more toned down compared to what it was in the X-Men. But anyways, that's Mighty Avengers 3. Okay, Amazing X-Men number 1. This is basically the quest to bring Nightcrawler back into the Marvel Universe. Now, the one thing I want to know is this. Nightcrawler has a robe on. So please tell me, how does the tail go through that tiny hole? You know, and why do they always do that? See what I'm saying? He's got a tiny hole, a slit. I don't know. Things like that make me think that, you'd have eventually get ripped and torn, especially with the tail constantly moving, but it's always a perfect fit. Regardless, basically, what we have is, you see Nightcrawler in heaven, he meets some various pirate types, and his dad comes to pay him a visit. Now, from here, what we have is eventually a return to the Jean Grey school. We have the introduction of Firestar, and then this is just your classic, nonsense that goes on within the school. Now, by nonsense, I just mean that it's, crazy, it's hectic, but they really do a good job with the banter between everybody, and just the insanity that goes on, and how Firestar seems completely lost and clueless as to what's going on. So that part was very, very strong. But all of this part, I don't know. I just have this thing of, why do you have to bring Nightcrawler back? I mean, I don't know. Was there this amazing outpouring of people just demanding this? Is this a movie tie-in that they need to do to bring Nightcrawler back? I don't know. Personally, I don't think they needed him back. There's too many X-Men characters as it is, and I don't know why you need to add more to the mix, especially when you have mutants back again. But that being said, it was an entertaining read. Even though I have issues with what they're doing, I can't argue with the fact that Aaron did actually a really decent job with the scripting. Ed McGuinness did a great, good job with the pencils. So this is definitely what I would consider a solid read overall. But I don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it up, though. And finally, Cataclysm, The Ultimate's Last Stand. Now we finally get Bendis and Bagley back, so now we have some quality. We get some fantastic Galactus shots. Fantastic artwork. And it's basically everybody's just piling on to beat on Galactus. Now, the part that I really liked about this book was you have Miles going, what am I supposed to do in this situation? Because, Miles knows that he can't go and punch Galactus and he's going to fall. So he's completely way out of his league. So he's really trying to find his way in this really earth-ending experience. And so that's what really attracted me to that portion of the book. Now, of course, the Ultimates do eventually arrive, and they, basically they don't really do much other than annoy Galactus. So I'm really looking forward to the second issue. I'm really hoping, beyond all hope, that they wipe this universe out, bring Miles back to the Marvel U, and hopefully we'll get to see Galactus chomp on some people, chomp on the world for once. But if you haven't been reading the Ultimates, you might want to give this one a try. I think for the most part, it's pretty safe to pick it up from this without getting the other ones. And the only thing you really need to know are these Ultimates are a little bit more edgier, a little bit more prone to violence. Reed Richards is the villain of this universe. He's the Doctor Doom. And once you know that, then you can kind of piece everything together. But anyways, this was really enjoyable. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video. Let me know what you guys really liked. I mean, how many people do you think out there think that this is it for the Ultimate Universe? Or do you think will it come back? Will it survive? And what about Nightcrawler? is he really needed to come back? How many of you were looking forward to it? Well, in the meantime, though, I think you guys need some free comics. So here's this. Trying to get it so you can see it. And here's the last one. Okay, anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video. I'll have more reviews and stuff later. I gotta do another manga run soon, so don't watch for that. And until next time.